afternoon, everyone. So it's time, so let's just begin our session then. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to South India Business Week, Day 8 for EduTech panel. So today our panel members are Upendra sir. Sir is the co-founder of Frontlines EduTech Private Limited. We also have Yojith Pratheek sir. Sir is the co-funding partner of Chambers of Jain and Kumar. We have Amit Kapoor sir. Sir will be joining us soon. Sir is the senior director of marketing at Cigniti Technologies. We have our moderator for today, Dr. Vinod R.R. sir. Sir is the founder of Vidyamitra. And so today's topic for panel discussion is the future of edutech, bridging the gap between digital innovations and exclusive education. So now I'll hand it over this to Vinod sir. Sir will take it from here. Thank you, everyone.
So very good afternoon to one and all respected panelists. And once again, welcome to SIBW 2024. So before we move on, we have to accept the fact technology is a necessary disruptor. So everybody wants technology, and the success of SIBW is also through technology. So with that, let me take the first question to Mr. Upendra ji. The question is, what innovative strategies has your organization adopted to enhance the quality of education through technology?
Okay, so especially for FLN, so we are a Telugu edutech based company, AP and Telangana. So our way of innovation is like the Gen Z generation more attracted towards Instagram, memes. Okay, these kind of things entertain them a lot. So whenever we are teaching basically we do teach a lot of coding related courses and all. So whenever we are going to teach any course or any concept, we'll try to bring it out some memes. Okay, because memes is the only stickiness where you can get the user attention. If you start teaching them the lectures, they'll feel bored. Maybe hardly 2 to 3 minutes, they'll trip away. So what we started hiring the content creators, those who knows the technology as well as this mimic sense, and we started mixing together, and we got tremendous response. We have 1 million followers in our Instagram. Everybody is pure organic, not even 1 rupee got spent on marketing in our Instagram page. The entire organic following came because of this strategy which we follow, the mimic and the technology, and that is doing great for this generation.
So sweet. So first of all, hearty congratulations for adopting technology in the right sense. So I think now let me take the question to Prateek ji. Yes. As a legal professional, what are the key legal considerations in implementing edutech solutions, particularly with reference to data privacy and cyber security?
So, Vinodji, firstly, thank you for asking this very important question, which is the current burning question in the tech industry. So, before I talk about data privacy and the current laws which are now coming into picture, I will talk about there are certain key considerations which every edtech needs to take care of in this digital era. Like you said, digital era is the reason why edtech is being successful the way they are becoming right now. First things first is, of course, intellectual property rights. That's the most important thing for any business. Any business, be it edtech, be it non-edtech, and be it a tech business and be it a traditional business. But in case of edtech, a lot of IP issues come in with respect to coursework, with respect to the client data, with respect to the customer data, with respect to the student data, with respect to vendors, with respect to the tech. So edtech is a very heavy IP driven industry. Secondly, contractual considerations, they come into place a lot. So we work with multiple edtech companies of different models and different genres. And one common challenge we face with them is contracts with vendors, with third parties, with students, policies for students. And there are a lot of people, they have one login, they share it amongst each other. So those are the kind of challenges they face, and how do we cure them legally? Now, coming to the data privacy aspect, so prior to the Indian data privacy law, which just came in last year, we had the Information Technology Act. So whenever we have tech come into picture, IT Act will simultaneously come in there. So it used to talk about protecting significant personal data, which it includes your payment, your banking data, your medical data, so on and so forth. Now, with the digital personal data bill, which has just come in last year, it is yet to come into force, though it is gazetted now. It's an act that provides a very stricter data policy framework. Now, when I talk about it, consent now plays a very important role. So now consent is something which I always tell people that consent is like fries. It has to be free. It has to be irrevocable. It has to be without any pressure. So those kind of things one needs to take care of while taking consent. Then they need to be a proper consent form. If you're enrolling a student, you're taking his data online, you need to ensure that he has given you the consent to use that data. You will use that data to crunch it later on, so you have that kind of consent. Once the student's plan program is done, he's done with the portal, then the data will be scrapped in certain manner, data will be stored in certain manner, so on and so forth. So these are the challenges which are going to come in, and edtech being something where they're facing individuals on a regular basis, the usage and the implementation of data policy and data privacy laws become very relevant and very important. So we have been training the edtechs with respect to the kind of compliance they may have to do and what are the system changes they need to do even today, so that once the law becomes effective, they do not go taken by surprise. They're not taken by surprise. So that is primarily what we need to take care of whenever we are talking about the data policies with what is concerned.
Truly respected. And with this current news about Paytm and things, I mean, we don't know what is the next day, what news comes up. So legally, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, and I'll share a very recent case we have seen with one of the edtechs. So they had, of course, certain partners on board with them who were the RBI compliant entities and RBI regulated entities. So some students who really wanted to dispute their fee, their payments, they straight away complained to RBI, which
Okay.
rippled down to the NBFC partner, and then it rippled down to the edtech. So all these considerations are something which one needs to take care of and look at with the very final lens while we talk about building any edtech platform. Byju's
Right.
is what is happening.
Yeah, Byju's
Unfortunate,
recently.
yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, like probably once in a blue moon, they were the rocking star, and suddenly.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, sir.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. So, right time you are on. So, I'll welcome once again Amit sir. And first question to you before we start. So, first of all, congratulations, welcome on board. We just had one discussion with Upendra ji and Prateek ji. So now to you, the question is, from a marketing perspective,
Mm-hmm.
how can edutech organizations effectively communicate the value proposition
Okay.
of the solutions to different segments of the market?
Okay. So, see, communicating the value proposition, right, of the edtech solutions, and that too in an effective manner to the various market segments. It, I would say, involves multiple understandings in terms of, say, the unique needs, pain points, and preferences of all these segments, right? Some of the areas or points that I can say that align to it might be, say, the segmentation of the area, right, or the targeting. So whether you want to target the higher education, or whether it is vocational training, whether it is corporate level training, all that. So all those needs and challenges need to be understood very clearly, right? And once that is done, you or we need to have very clear, personalized, say customized messaging for all of these areas as to how the edtech solution will address their pain points or improve their career growth and path, right? And save time and efforts and all those things. Additionally, in terms of marketing, if I can say a bit, content creation, content marketing plays a very critical role. By means of, say, blogs or white papers, even successful case studies, or even hosting, say, podcasts and webinars, right? those can also play a very critical role in how to approach this particular dimension of the issue. Apart from that, yeah, I mean, like the list can go on if I keep thinking. End of the day, it has to be like a focus on continuous improvement, and we have to be able to get feedback from customers if they are actually getting benefited from it, and then making changes and improvements in our own platforms accordingly. Once these strategies are implemented, then yeah, we can think that yeah, we are going in the right direction.
So nice. I think, as you said, it's like a pyramid.
Yes.
Where customer, product, and organization always have to grow up, probably ever learning,
Right.
and evolving.
Right.
So yes. So I think thank you. So I'll come back to Upendra ji once again.
Sure.
For the second question. How do you ensure that edutech solutions cater to the diverse needs of the students from various socio-economic backgrounds?
So that is the reason we spread across social media. So all the categories like from tier 1 to tier 3, all colleges, all cities, especially our company, we mostly focused on tier 3 cities and colleges where a lot of knowledge is not being shared or they don't have that much exposure. So there we focus, we generally go to the colleges, we go to, or else we take a place, a seminar hall or function hall, and we'll start taking those sessions for them. Okay, so there is a dedicated team for this, how to diversify our knowledge to the way scattering to the various people. Okay, and for that, of course, Instagram, YouTube, these social media platforms, our motto is like, a lot of people think like these social media platforms killing students time. Of course it is true, but there where student is killing his time, there we want to teach them. Okay, so people, at least 2 to 3% of my students will say we are using Instagram only for FLM. FLM is sharing the best tech content in an understandable way. For example, if I try to teach them oops, they'll not listen, but if I try to teach them Pushpa movie with the tech concepts, they literally enjoy this. So the same concepts, we've been to different colleges across AP and Telangana, and it is doing too good, and we are planning to continue to this.
Excellent, excellent, superb, great. Just out of curiosity, since our Kapoorji, Prateekji, and Upendraji said the same line, what is your opinion about niche marketing? Because the people are using niche, especially in content. So is it a relevant word or is it a buzzword? To Upendraji.
Of course, it is relevant. Okay, so
Relevant.
edtech is very tight space. I mean, it's not like very few people are there. We can do like anything. It's not at all. It's a very tight market. Every day you will say new company or new one. You need to offer something very unique. That's what. So when we started, we thought like, okay, everybody's teaching Java, Python, DevOps. What are you differently offering? Okay, I'm teaching in my regional language. That's fine. Still there are people teaching in your regional language. Then what are different you are offering? Okay, I'm going to teach them in their understandable movie fashion, which we felt our niche, which is our USP. Okay, you might be people coming to that cadre also. Again, we need to find and we need to reiterate that. So that's what generally I believe.
So sweet. So Kapoorji, I'll come to you because the question will be there on niche,
Sure.
but I'll come back. So Prateek, just connecting the same dot. Prateekji, okay.
I'm here.
Probably 1 minute. We'll just You're there?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
here. I'm here.
Superb, superb. So this is about the rapid evolution which everybody in a night online space is being seen. So I am starting an organization and I'm telling I have got a niche and I'll tell the pain point and I'll say 3 hours you enjoy my show, you will be solved with 5 things. The question to you is, how can the legal framework safeguard the rights of all stakeholders? Because we don't know what is the promise that is stated, especially in online space.
So, very relevant question because now, with the boom of social media, every person has their niche, what we call as a marketing product, which is helping the businesses boom. So, as far as the considerations are concerned, like I said, IPR is the backbone of everything in edtech, at least. So, when I do a marketing activity, also for that matter, as far as the platform is concerned, as far as the edtech company is concerned, I need to ensure that each what I am presenting, that is fairly protected through right policies, or through right disclaimers, or through right set of guidelines for students, that if any sort of mischief is done by you, we may have to terminate your enrollment with us. Secondly, from a student perspective, the consumer laws have been very strong. In 2019, these laws were amended. Now, it is a very consumer relationship between an edtech platform and a student. So, if they are being promised 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and that has not been delivered, they are free to go to the consumer forum, claiming a deficiency of service from the platform. So that is again a very interesting scenario, because our consumer forums also these days are coming up with a lot of fabulous judgments on tech platforms, not just edtech, but generally also. So it's very important to see, because the legal landscape has been transitioning with tech every day. Every day there is a new amendment, new law which is coming in. So one needs to be very careful while running a platform, or any business for that matter. One needs to be very careful about the kind of legalities involved in the business. What can be the pros and cons? What can be the future actions? What they may see, what they may face. And even in edtech, we have seen uh, there are brilliant professors. They started their platforms. They have got the most amazing content which is not available in the market. They have a success ratio which goes between 90 to 100% for competitive exams. But then there are certain old students who would want to copy that same model and start their own platform. So that's where the thin line gets broken, because if you don't have right kind of considerations sorted out at the time when people are studying with from you, vendors are on it, then later on it may create some sort of hazard for the platform. I think these are my 2 cents.
Good points.
Thanks a lot for that dimension. Like, considerations needs to be mindful, and blind copying can land up in trouble. So I truly.
Absolutely.
So coming to Kapoor ji, which is about glamorizing the market.
Mhm.
So the question is, what roles does user experience design play in driving adoption and engagement with edutech platforms?
That's an interesting question. It's like saying that whether we should wear dull and boring colors, or whether we should jazz up our lives, right? So user experience and making things beautiful, more usable, and things that actually give customer satisfaction, right? They are always something that need to be taken into very serious consideration. Like, if we talk of user experience, right? User experience is all about being able to provide a customer what he needs, when he needs, and in the form that the person needs, right? So, and definitely I'm thinking, like, there are a few points that come up, like how UX will play in proper engagement in terms of edtech or education based platforms. One thing can be, and one thing that is very important, like like any software, like any other software, even the platform of these edtech, the look and feel, right, the interface of these platforms, it has to be very intuitive. It has to be very user friendly. Like, with the least number of clicks, the user, the reader should be able to reach where the person wants to. If that is not happening, then the interface needs to be continuously worked upon. It has to be accessible in that sense, that there are multiple ways in which some people read, or some people access. So whether you're reading via the Z format, or reading via the N format, or even people with diverse needs. I mean, there are, systems should, if let us say, somebody is disabled or especially able in terms of hearing or, or seeing rather, right? So then, what audio clips should be available for the EdTech platform. Only then it will be successful. The presentation that is there, it should not be like a whole dump of content there. There have to be, interactive, playful images that can, make the reader want to read more and understand more, and also be able to eventually, understand what was being taught or, what needs to be learned. Apart from this, if you think on a more technical terms, I mean, it is not just like, okay, there is a page, there is a course, and there is a chapter that the person needs to read. An edtech platform, from where I understand, it is a multiple modules that are involved in making an edtech platform successful. What are these modules? And they can be like, say, the assessments, the actual chapters, the course materials, the forums for discussion within the people who are attending that same course, right? If there are any collaborative projects that are happening, or any specific tools that are there. So all of that has to be integrated in a very seamless manner, so that the person does not end up thinking that, oh man, what kind of a course or a platform that I have like joined. It is not really making any sense to me, right? Again, there are ways in which we can personalize based on, like, so let us say I log in and I first like to read the chapter and then do the questions. Some people like to, first attempt the questions and then, read more about the chapter. I mean, it's all about, personal choices. So if there is a way wherein, like, we can make these platforms based on the logins, change the first screen of, the whole platform itself, right? And then, offer, say, more personalized recommendations for the students, or, what is the right direction, what is the next correct chapter for the person to go to, right? So all this will engage the readers more. And definitely, if we are creating such a platform, we are talking about such a platform, then again, I would say feedback is of critical importance. There has to be a very simple way that a user can, communicate any challenge or any good things also with the people who have created the platform. And yes, I mean, we all are living in this age of box called mobiles. Definitely, the whole platform has to be optimized for mobiles. I think if we have a few of these things in place, I think that the UX thing will come and add value to it.
Great point, sir. Really respected. I think a week before, even Elon Musk also said about Neuralink, which is talking about the next wave. Like, for a differently able people also, they should use it.
Yes.
So, for the ease and the comfort, and plus continuous feedback.
Yes.
So truly respect. Pratheek Upendra ji. Some network issue again. This is another platform which we can't handle. Technology beyond the space and time is not with us. Just out of curiosity, since we are there for a minute, from a legal point of view as well as from a marketing point of view, any hard challenges you have faced from the legal point of view, like this marketing is right or this marketing is like a 50-50 game. It can be interpreted in such a manner that they can win, or our so-called cyber laws or the security patch is so weak that it can be to the another party's favor. So from Prateek ji's point of view, any sudden thoughts you had experienced?
So from the legal side, so if you're doing an online marketing, first risk we face is of a copyright strike, which is the first point of risk, which all the platforms or all the companies are facing, and they have seen once in their lifetime. So anyone, because these platforms are open, usually Google, Meta, they will not interfere with how content is being put, or how what people are primarily doing over there. But if I go and I put in something like a review where I say that, okay, this is my copyright, this is infringing copyright, or this is a hate speech, then Meta will of course flag it. They will not give you a chance to explain it. They will rather pull down the content. So that is one primary challenge. Second challenge is reviews. Reviews play a very big role, and we with edtech especially we have faced. So whenever there is a disgruntled parent or disgruntled student, they would want to put bad reviews everywhere, because the digital marketing or the digital platforms are very easily accessible. They would want to put a LinkedIn post that, okay, this edtech has cheated us, even though there are no legs to it. Or they would want to put a bad Google review. They would want to put an Instagram post, or they will comment adversely in your on your Instagram posts, or on your LinkedIn posts, or on your content, whatever you're putting it. So we have been facing this in edtech space quite a lot, and what we have made a robust reply mechanism for that. And whenever we see that there is someone who's repeatedly doing it and there is no legal locus to it, we try and send a defamation or entry threat notice to those guys. Because reputation is something which is very hard to build, but damaging takes only a day. So for platforms, it is very important to ensure that if there is a genuine concern, that needs to be addressed. There is a bully, that needs to be addressed as well.
So sweet, sir. Amit ji, just since sir is talking about data, let's get into analytics. The whole world is behind numbers. The whole world is behind trends. And whatever you said about review and feedback. So the question is, how do companies leverage on the large data that is already available and personalized experiences? And do you think it is measurable it is possible to measure the impact also?
You see, data is something that is being and can be leveraged in and by any industry, for sure. The only thing is that, is the data correct, and is the data aligned to that industry? Now, even if we talk about the edtech companies, they definitely can leverage data analytics and bring about more, say, as you said, rightly said, like the more personalization in the training experiences, and even measuring, like if it is having the right kind of impact. Now, as I was talking about in the previous question, also in terms of UX also, one of the most important thing is what is the style of learning of a person. So every person that logs in into an edtech platform has their own unique style of learning. So the platform should be able to collect the data in terms of what are the person's preferences, what are the learning styles. Then when the person gives let us say the assessments, what are the kind of scores that they are earning. So based on all this, a lot of details can be created, and then these can be used to create more specific and personalized content, and add on more recommendations. And definitely, I mean, as I said, like this definitely can be analyzed as to if it is really working and if it is having the right impact or not. Then if I say using the data analytics, as we are talking about, we can dynamically adjust the difficulty of learning, the speed of how the chapter is going, and the learning models. Like we have certain exams also, we all are aware, like as we keep on giving the right answers, the complexity of the questions keeps on increasing. So similarly, these platforms also can based on the profile increase the either simplicity or the difficulty of the challenges or chapters. So that will definitely help. Basically, what I'm talking about is like trying to implement more of adaptive AI-based, ML-based learning platforms that will add value. Then we have something called as the content recommendation engines, based on which we can perform the whole data analysis, and edtech companies can develop more sophisticated information channels, right? These engines, basically engines, these engines, what I'm referring to is basically channels wherein we can check and the platforms can gather more reference materials, more relevant learning material, courses and resources that can be provided. And again, these can be tracked as to if they are actually adding any value. Predictive analytics is something that again can help, and these will be of more use to students who are say falling behind others, or who are struggling with some particular concepts. So based on the learning styles and abilities and capabilities of students, these can be made simpler or complex, as we said, and we can already know that, okay, this guy might not be able to solve this particular question. So then more personalized support can be provided, which will definitely have a good impact. And again, like, feedback is something that I can't stop talking about. That has to be there. The more feedback is there, the more data is there for the edtech platforms to collate and understand which particular module is working well, which is not working well, and where we need to improve better. Of course, dashboards are something that every student loves to see. The whole colorful graphs and pie charts and all those things that keep telling that, okay, you have completed this much of the course, how much remains, how much time did it take, how much did you score, in all a single screenshot. So even if the marks are bad, honestly speaking, they still like to see that. So based on that, these dashboards can definitely include all the metrics that are there, and that will definitely improve the learning outcomes and all those things. And yes, not to forget, we are talking about data analytics, and in this world of whole security issues that are there. So data privacy and security is something that they really need to be very wary about. And and there has to be clear communication. There has to be very clearly laid down ethical policies that are there, and you don't, I mean, I'm sure you would also be aware that GDPR and other such policies are very critical, and it is very difficult to play around them. So it is better not to tickle the wrong nerve and just do the right thing. So yeah, I think a few points.
So sweet of you.
Yep.
So sweet of that. So it's all about dynamic plus be aware about it.
Yeah.
So I think the last question to Prateek ji, which some of that already are Kapoor ji answered or probably gave a hint.
Okay.
What are the, other than the copyright and the IPR, any other measures which educational institutions need to take care when they are into edutech space?
So IPR and copyright is, of course, one of the major portions what we have already discussed. And like Kapoorji was just mentioning about GDPR, so our Digital Personal Data Protection Act, which has just come in last year, that has the essence of GDPR in it. Now that has been our law has been modified to fit in the needs of an Indian consumer or Indian data provider. For example, whenever you have your platform is accessible in all the 28 states and the union territories, right? So every state may have different sort of language, which a student from a different other state may not understand. So we know English no longer cannot be the only language in which you can put in your policies or consent mechanisms. If a student is from Tamil Nadu, you need to ensure that Tamil consent mechanism is there, so that student can read, understand, and give you a fair consent. Similarly, in Maharashtra, Marathi must be there, or In Andhra Pradesh, Telugu must be there. So those kind of very basic and brief nuances which has just come in the new law, the platforms may need to comply with soon. Apart from that, another important part which becomes is so how the data is protected, how the data is held. So the servers, how are they, what are they, how the crunching is being happening. So those things are also being under the legal lenses now. The third thing, what I understand and EdTech needs to take care of is, of course, contracts and policies. They are the main thing which every EdTech needs to be clear about. So first question always happens is, okay, if there is any feedback which comes in, like Kapoorji said, feedbacks are very important. So when feedback comes in, who owns the feedback? The platform owner,
Yeah.
SaaS company, or the EdTech platform? So that becomes a very debatable issue. So those are the issues one needs to clearly lay down and finalize in their SaaS agreements with the tech platforms. Secondly, when we talk about the customer data, student data for that matter, so clear right needs to be taken in the beginning itself that the student data will be ours, feedbacks will be ours. So as far as the tech is concerned, you will just give us the support, because usually once the tech is built, they would also want it to use, optimize it, sell it to other platforms. That has been the norm in the tech industry. Third part is the policies vis-a-vis students are concerned, policies vis-a-vis teachers, faculty members, mentors who are third parties are concerned. So all these things are very important to be taken care of, because once we have a strong legal backbone in the beginning itself, it will secondly help us in the funding rounds. Thirdly, it will protect us for all the times to come. So this is my addition to it. Yeah.
So sweet, so sweet. So I think it was a great discussion, probably a minute plus only offshooted, which we have to account for technology gap.
Yeah.
But still, I think 45 minutes, I had a great lessons of opportunity. First of all, thank you, SIBW, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you.
More importantly, I should respect and thank all the speakers. So it was truly amazing. Started with, there is something called niche marketing, where we had a 1 million followers in Instagram, in the modern way of teaching by our own Upendra ji, followed by what are the legal aspects which one needs to factor, and be cautious. Do not jump because there is a lot of money available. Be aware, it can burn you. So thanks a lot, Prateek ji, for warning us, but giving a very beautiful frame. Third, there is a glorified market which further needs to be glorified with feedback, acceptance, and being dynamic in nature. So thank you, Kapoor, for giving that beautiful dimension. And overall, it was a great learning experience for me, and I enjoyed thoroughly. I wish the same with you too.
I love the way you are speaking, Vinodji, and Parikji, very, very nice inputs and insightful thoughts over there. And ma'am, I don't know your name because it just says.
I'm Lohita, sir. I'm just a representative from Businessmen. I'll just host these meetings, and normally I moderate, but today that duty is given to Vinod, sir.
And he has done it so beautifully. I just want to commend him. Very seamlessly, he has transitioned from tech to legal to marketing and all the other relevant considerations. So
Yes.
very well done.
Yes. Thank you, Vinod, sir, a lot. That was a really wonderful session. You have done it very beautifully. I would have never done that.
No. It's all about beautiful things. So we all together did it. That's all. It's not one.
And I want to thank each and every one of you for joining this session today. It was a really pleasure of ours having you all here. Thanks for your time, everyone. Hope we again do this again soon in the future. And looking forward to work with you all again through Businessmen.
Thank you so much.
Same here.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you, Kapoorji. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for the
Thank
session.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.